All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
Here we go. 180! I got him.
They'll run on first down. Hilliard. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
The throw here caught by Devontae Parker. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Here we go. 180! Hey, D-line, let's get in there.
On first down, Hilliard. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
What you got?
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Alert!
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
21.
On 3rd down, Hilliard. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on 3rd down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Down! 16 outlaw. Come on here. Come get some.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He's going to look deep for more. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'd open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Back to throw here. And he's got his target. That's more. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. This is McCaffrey. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone, and that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll drop to throw. It's caught at the 10. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The extra point up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Next to score, Panthers 7, Saints nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Yeah, he's going to get this deep on the Carolina side of the field. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game, and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
Here we go.
Second and 8 at the 16-yard line.
From the 16, Garoppolo flushed out right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Garoppolo now. toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The kick by Lutz is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. On second down, McCaffrey. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Watch the glass. Watch the glass. 51's the mic, boy. 51.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's got the hook up to Moore. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Here's a second and 7. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 44-yard line. So in Saints territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 44-yard line. McCaffrey. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
First down, Panthers.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. They're going to look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him. And what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation. And they took advantage of the young man right there.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Garoppolo. And he's got his man on the out route. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
12, fellas, here we go. Bravo. Mike 51. Yo.
To throw is Garoppolo. Going up top. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Check, 59. 11.
And yet again, it's Garoppolo. And it's caught by Parker. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Here we go. 180.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Flush to his right. There goes a deep ball, end zone, and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Here we go.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Check 59, Mike is 59. Mike to 59. That's right, baby. They don't want it. Mike's 59.
Garoppolo again. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because Now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
At the 46-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On play action, they'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
Ready up. Here we go, here we go. They've got tight left, one tight end, one tight end. Go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Moore. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 44-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to launch it for Washington. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Touchdown, Carolina. James Washington, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here we go.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Check.
Garoppolo looks to throw. His throw incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They'll try and run for it. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are back within a single score. Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field.
24 is the mark. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 24 is the mark.
They'll set up to throw. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
Here we go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 28-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Wait, 80. 11. Check. 25. Silent. 64. Weak.
They run it again with Kamara. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now here on EA Sports. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. The Saints on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Hilliard. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
When a good play is made on defense, Oftentimes, leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Parker, the intended target. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 37-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Washington's got it. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Ready, break. 47, check mark 47. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 80 weapon. 80 weapon.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll run with McCaffrey. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. McCaffrey following the penalty. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Boy, tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. After the penalty, it's Henry. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Trying to punch it in with Henry. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got it 2nd and goal now as they look for that final dagger. They'll go with the keeper. And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Now, I'm assuming they're keeping this football on the ground, right?
I would think so, because you're looking at the clock. That's in your favor. You look at the geography of the field, right, where you are. That's in your favor as well. Keep it on the ground. Keep pounding. Run that clock down. You got everything working in your direction.
So can this New Orleans defense stand tall again? 3rd and goal. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This just a 24-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Now from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're down here in a 1-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
21. Hey, Orbit.
To throw is Garoppolo. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one.